Alright you guys, if you clicked on this video, you want to figure out how to use this scroll wheel for something actually useful. If you have a Radio Master Pocket like me, you don't have as many control switches as some of the larger radio controllers do, so you have to use them for what they're worth. These three-way switches on top I already have assigned to things, but I wanted to be able to change my VTX power output without having to connect my drone to Betaflight first. I don't always fly with my laptop handy, so being able to change your VTX power output from your radio controller can be super useful. I posted a video recently of the first time my little tiny whoop got stuck up in a tree, and I was not sure if I was going to be able to get it down or not. My VTX power was set to 200. If it was stuck in the tree for long enough, that could have burned up my board. My friend dropped in the comments though recommending that I update my controller to be able to change the VTX power output off of it. This is useful because once I find that I'm stuck or in a place where I can't retrieve my drone quickly, I can change the power output to 25 so the board doesn't burn up before I can get to it. Now what we're gonna do today on the scroll wheel, we're gonna set it up so when it's turned all the way to the left, it's set at 25 milliwatt output power. When it's scrolled all the way to the right, it's set at 400 milliwatt, and then there'd be two intermittent stations partway through set at 100 and 200 milliwatts. You can update this depending on what output power your drone and VTX board facilitate, but for this example with the Beta FPV Air 65-2, those are the numbers we'll be using. Before we get into the Betaflight commands, we're gonna need to set up the radio controller to be able to facilitate an auxiliary output on this scroll wheel. Also, forgive my terminology, I'm still relatively new to FPV, so I might refer to things wrong, so thank you for your grace on that. Here on the Radio Master Pocket, we're on the home screen. First, we're gonna hit MDL right here. And then here we're on page 1 of 12. We're gonna click the page right button until we're on page number 6. This is where we can assign channels to specific buttons on the controller. Use the scroll wheel to scroll down to an empty channel. Here we can see I have a channel named scroll. This is where I have mine set up, but I'll show you how to do it on channel 10 right here. Click down on the scroll wheel. You can name this. You can leave that blank though. Scroll one down to source where it says max. Click down on this wheel and then scroll this back scroll wheel a couple times and it will automatically assign the scroll wheel as the source for this channel. Click this wheel again, click return and return one more time. Here we're back on page 6. We're gonna scroll down and verify that our channel has been set. Now, I'm gonna assume that you know how to connect your drone to Betaflight as well as your radio controller to Betaflight. If you don't, I'll run through it really quick. First off, you're gonna wanna put a battery on your drone and pair it with your radio controller just as if you were about to fly. At that point, you can remove the battery and then plug it in with the provided connector to, most of the time, a USB-C cable, and then into your computer and click connect to Betaflight. The first thing you want to do here is go to video transmitter, power, go to pit mode and click save. This will save you from burning up your VTX and board. What I do recommend as well is having your goggles on with the temperature reading inside of it so you can monitor the temperature of your drone as you go throughout this process. So here on Betaflight, we're going to want to do two things in two different menus. Number one is receiver. The receiver menu is looking at what your radio controller is doing. So you can see these first few sections up here, roll, pitch, yaw, and throttle. If you mess around with the radio controller sticks, you'll see that those move. Now what we're gonna wanna do is give this back scroll wheel a scroll to see if any of these auxiliary ports are fluctuating. There we can see auxiliary 5 is moving up and down as we scroll the wheel. So that means the channel that we assign this to is associated with auxiliary port number 5. We're gonna wanna keep that port number in mind, number 5. I would write that down. Additionally, we'll want to keep in mind that the minimum value of auxiliary 5 is 1000 and the maximum value is 2000. We will divide this into quarters or thirds depending on how many VTX output power levels you want to assign the scroll wheel. In my case, it's 4. Number 2 is the video transmitter. I'm not too technologically advanced as far as the different VTX systems and the bands go, but as far as my setup goes, videos and probably most beta FPV air setups is my guess, is we are running on the race band right here on channel 1 for me. You can change the channel on this and that's okay, but you'll have to remember which channel you're on. Now you can also see current values on the right hand side. We want to verify that device ready is set to true. Band is race band. I think this will work with other bands as well. Channel is 1, frequency is 5658 for mine. Keep note of what yours are. Now, we are going to be using this formula sheet to help us with our CLI commands. This is from Joshua Bardwell's YouTube video regarding this same idea of assigning specific values to a certain switch on your controller. In his video, he was using buttons. I couldn't find a video that did it with the scroll wheel, so it took a lot of fiddling around to get this one to work, but it uses the same concept, same command. Here we have 5 values that we will keep track of. It is the index, auxiliary channel, VTX band, VTX channel, VTX power, and then the last 2 values are the start range and the end range. This is the power that we were looking at in the receiver mode right here. Minimum 1000, maximum 2000. This index button starts at 0 and increments by 1. So every time we input a new command into the CLI, we'll increment that by 1. Since we're doing 4 commands, we'll start at 0, go 1, 2, and then 3. The second value is auxiliary channel. This is the switch your channel is assigned to, -1. So here, back on receiver on Betaflight, we found that my scroll wheel was assigned to auxiliary 5. With this formula, we'll subtract 1 and refer to it as auxiliary channel 4. The VTX band equals race band for me. I will show you where we can find this again. VTX channel was 1 for me. Alec from the future here. I only fly on channel 1. I don't really change my channel. If you do change your channel, and you might as well probably do this anyways, if you switch the VTX channel column for the number 0, then if you change your channel, this scroll wheel function will still work. And then VTX power, we will refer to the VTX table for. I will show you that right now. At this point, you can go to the CLI and input VTX table. This is the table we're referring to in that command list. Race band here shows number 5 for me. We're race band, so that means VTX band will equal 5. VTX channel, I am on 5658. You can confirm that in your video transmitter menu. VTX power is this bottom line down here. My VTX board supports 25, 100, 200, 400, and PIT milliwatts. These are associated with the numbers above 1, 2, 3, 4, and 0. We're gonna go ahead and input these commands now and you'll get a hang of how these values work together. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this over. We're gonna start this command with VTX 0 because this is index number 0. This is my first command. Number 4 is the auxiliary channel. My auxiliary channel is number 5, but we need to subtract 1, which makes it 4. This value is the VTX band, race band. We can see right here, race band is band number 5. So mine is number 5. VTX channel is number 1 because my channel is set at 5658. Find your channel in this list and adapt that to which channel you're on. This last number is the power value that we want to assign. I want to assign 25 milliwatt to this command. This is associated with power value 1. Lastly, we have the start range and the end range. If you remember, the maximum and minimum ranges of the scroll wheel was 1000 to 2000. Since we're going to be assigning 4 different VTX power outputs to this scroll wheel, we'll need to take the first quarter chunk and assign that to the 25 milliwatt VTX power output. So we'll start at 1000 and go to 1250. This means when the wheel is turned all the way to the left between the power output of 1000 and 1250, the VTX will output 25 milliwatts. Once you have that, go ahead and press enter. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the second one. I'm gonna copy and paste mine over. So make sure to replace any values that is different for yours. Now between the first line and the second line, you're only changing 3 things. The first one is the index value. We are gonna increment that up by 1. The second thing we're gonna change is which VTX power output value we want to assign to this minimum and maximum. I want to assign it to 100 milliwatts. So we're gonna assign that to number 2, which is associated right here, 102. And then the minimum and maximum values is gonna be 1251, which is one more than our previous command, to 1500. Anytime the scroll wheel is within that range, it will output 100 milliwatts. Go ahead and press enter. Now the third and fourth one follow the same. We're only going to change 3 things on this one. The index line is now number 2. Power output is now number 3, assigning this to 200 milliwatts, which is associated with column number 3. And this will be between the scroll wheel's output value of 1501 to 1750. Go ahead and click enter. Now the last one, index value is changed to number 3. VTX is changed to number 4 to associate with VTX power output of 400 milliwatts. And we are looking between the scroll wheel values of 1751 to 2000. In Joshua Bardwell's tutorial video, he was assigning each of these output values to a different channel. That's not what I wanted to do with this scroll wheel, and I couldn't get it to work that way. So this is the solution I came up with to make it so this scroll wheel works properly. Once you've completed these commands, don't forget to save your work. It's gonna reboot the flight controller and we are good to go. That is it. Make sure you have your VTX output selected in your OSD menu. And as you can see in my goggles, probably somewhere in the video, you can see I have mine in the very top left. As you scroll this wheel, you should see it from the very left going from 25, 100, 200 to 400. Now, I really hope this worked for you. If it didn't, feel free to drop a comment or DM me. I'll see if I can help you figure it out. And if this did help you, feel free to give it a like. Please comment if it did work. I'm really excited to put this video out. Please share this video with anybody who you think might benefit from this. Hit the subscribe button, of course, and I'll see you next time.